I was just talking away. Well, I was just talking away, with nobody here. And then I realized I was not indeed live. Give me a few minutes. I hit the button a little premature, but still was in here talking. What was I trying to do here? Chat filter. Uh, yeah, that's what we want. But what's this here? Oh, we're gonna put it on subscriber only mode. How about that? Be a be a subscriber. Subscriber only for at least 5 minutes. Okay. Hey, Rainy Puz. Hello, hello, hello. Let me do something real quick, and let me tell my daughter to hush all that noise up there. Give me just a second. Okay. Give me just a. Hey, it's 10 people in here. Can I get a like? Can I get a like? Uh, Please like the video. I appreciate it. And I'm gonna start in just a minute. I'm trying to do something that's not working uh, out. But let me say this: I know some people are keeping me honest, and the lint is not up, which means my 40 or 45 days away is not up, and I'm sticking to that. So, but I am going to speak in general terms, um, because it kind of go along. What I'm going to talk about kind of goes along with my lint, actually. Um, so, uh, and the title is "Why Leave." Why leave? So it kind of goes with my lint. So give me just a few minutes. I thought I was ready, but I wasn't. But I am ready. Okay, I am ready. Um, and then I don't know whether y'all can see the thumbnail or not, but the thumbnail says something to the effect of, what does it say? My little coffee cup. Change is inedible. I can't even say that word. Progress is optional. And then I have another one that says that talking about change, and it says growth is optional. And that's kind of what I want to talk about is change and growing. And yesterday I put up that's what I was looking for right there. Yesterday I put up a post that said talked about elevate your mind. Talk about mind elevation and growing. We used to sing a song back in church years ago, and the lyrics of that song was "Elevate your mind, let's go higher." Old congregational song. Elevate your mind and let's go higher. Um, Now, I will admit that this video is motivated by Sean Bradley saying that he was leaving. And I'm not going to go into that because I'm not doing any beef sector commentary or engaging in beef sector commentary uh, till after Lent. But I did want to talk about change and growing in general. And me, and which is a part of the reason why I use the beef sector as one of my Lent give ups, is because I started kind of evaluating where I was, in general, on social media, and not only hey Camp 40, Camp me, not only uh, on social media, but in life in general. And I started having some concerns because it's like, where can you go from here? Where do you go from here? In anything that I do, I want to see progress. I want it to mean something, even if it's entertainment. And you ask yourself, where you go? Where do you go from here? Um, you start a channel, you build the channel reach the goals, get monetized, get you a few Google AdSense checks, get you some members. You enjoy conversing back and forth. But then once you get to the dead end where it's day in, day out, kind of the same old, You know, where do you move? How do you create? How do you create within this box of what this particular brand is? Um, how do you create, move, and grow out of that? And life is growth. Life evolves. Uh, I don't know. I can't remember who I was talking to it about, but somebody within the last couple of weeks, we were talking about cell phones, and we were talking about the first cell phone. I know it was. It was on the cruise. I was talking to a lady that I was hanging with, and we were talking about cell phones. And I was telling her back in the '90s, my parents had got me a cell phone through Sprint. I know how we got on the topic. We were talking about Sprint turning into T-Mobile, and I was telling them that I have never been with anybody else but Sprint. And I was saying the first cell phone that I had, my parents got it because I had 2 kids at the time. It was back in the '90s, and I would travel home sometimes, and sometimes I would travel by myself with the kids. And so they would say, here, and the cell phone was so big, it came with a bag and a big old box and a big old thing that you had to connect it to, and you paid by the minute. You pick that phone up, you're gonna pay $4.99 just for turning it on, and then every minute after that, you're gonna pay $1 and some change every minute that you talk. And it was like big as the house phone, probably even bigger. And look how now we got these itty bitty cell phones that, you know, it's unlimited talk. You put it in your pocket, you know, put it in your brassiere. I mean, you know, how things change, they progress, it gets better. Technology get better, life get better. You even, I was having a conversation with somebody this morning about Old Testament, New Testament. They pointed out a scripture from Leviticus. There's an actual scripture in Leviticus that says, do not, if a person worked for you, you pay them the same day. It says that. Hold on, I'm gonna let y'all hear. It says that. I'm gonna let y'all hear it. It actually says that. We was talking about this particular scripture today, and I was saying about, that's why I believe that the Old Testament is just there for historical reasons and not something that we should be, you know, holding people to, because there's so many things that was in there that was meant for that time that's not necessarily meant for us now. But I'm gonna let y'all hear it because I found it interesting, and the person sent to me found it interesting. But it says,
make your hired workers wait until the next day to receive their pay. Do not make your hired workers wait until the next day to receive their pay.
That's in Leviticus 19:13. It says, do not make your hired workers wait till the next day to receive our pay. How many of us go to work and wait a month, get paid once a month, or get paid every 2 weeks, or get paid weekly? We sure don't receive our pay the next day. Things change. It changed online, it changed offline, it changed in our natural life, it's changed in our spiritual life, it changes in our social life. We grow, we change, but there's nothing worse than to find yourself stagnant at a dead end, going around in circles, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, like a little hamster on the wheel. Hey, TLC, thanks for coming in. He said, exactly. Be telling them that the Leviticus says, Leviticus 19:13 says they need to pay you before you leave today, before you log off. They need to pay you your money. I'm gonna call my job and say, pay me my money before I log off today. But things change. So you know, without going into beefsteak the commentary, you know, why would you make that decision? Because you grow. And I was looking at, before Lent, before I made a decision to give up, because I wanted some time to kind of think about and pray about, you know, what I'm going to do with my channel. And I'm gonna be honest, I started getting concerned because you see people, you know, I kind of started around 2017, 2018, and you see people in their own line life doing, saying, being the same, no growth. And it seems like it converted to their natural life. No growth, no progress. You know, there are some of us who likes to maneuver in life and have progress and see progress. I don't want to look back. Another example I like to make is I moved out of North Carolina after I graduated. And I moved back into North Carolina after I graduated. Moved out to go, didn't go to college right away. Moved to California where my sister was to help her out because her and her husband was in the Air Force. And so I, moved there to keep their kids when they had one son, to keep the baby while they get deployed or whatever. And that was going to be fun for me. North Carolina girl, I'm going to California. Okay. Did that, came back a little bit over a year later. Same people doing the same thing when I left. Ain't doing nothing different. Ain't changed nothing. Ain't been nowhere else. Ain't changed. Then some years later after that, I married a military man. That took me out of North Carolina for years. Years. Most of my adult life out of North Carolina. He retired. We moved back here so that our 3 children, can have a sense of family and grow up in one place, a sense of family and community, like we did, like we had. So we moved back here so they can go to one school and graduate from that one school and with family and friends. But when I moved back, some of the people that I moved from, same position, same place in life. Saying, hey, Duchess Kelly Love, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in, Treasure Cash. Same position in life, same place. Ain't moved, ain't progressed, ain't done nothing. And I'm looking at myself on social media, and I'm thinking, even online, I don't want to be that person to become stagnant, not only on social media, afraid to move because what's familiar. What did I put on my wall yesterday? Don't let what's familiar keep you from moving forward or something like that. I have to go back to my wall and see exactly what I wrote. I can't remember. But staying with what's familiar, what's safe, scared to move. This right here is working for me. Get a little check while I move. I'm gonna stay right here. But where is it going? Is it going anywhere? Hey, LaShonda, is it going anywhere? Is it doing anything? This is what I wrote. Familiar is the enemy to your purpose. Familiar is the enemy to your purpose. It is. It is. You want to do something else. You want to go somewhere else. You want to grow outside the box. But this is familiar. This has been working for me for years. Why would I move? Because you move because your purpose may be greater than this. This might have been just a stepping stone. This might have been just your training ground. This might have been just where you go to get your confidence in doing this thing. Now it's time to, step outside the box and do something else. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in that. None that I see. No shame in that. You move on. You move forward. That's all it is. But it was something I wanted to play. Let me see if I still had it. Y'all know I always got little clips I want to play if I could find it. But that's pretty much what I had to say. And I've been kind of, hey, Myrtle Snow, thank you for coming in. And I kind of been thinking on the same lines, because in my offline life, I have some things going on and some opportunities opening up. Not only, listen, on my jobby job that pays the actual mortgage, I'm coasting along. I'm coasting along to retirement. So as I'm coasting along to retirement, because I don't plan on, I ain't giving that job all of my life. I'm turning 61, 62 is when you can start collecting some stuff. So I said, okay, when I get that age, I'm still young. So some other things that I had already been doing started opening up. Even with me doing on this last cruise, it opened up. I was talking to different ones on the cruise. I was able to go and hang out with the crew down below. This time legally, one time I went down there. I wasn't supposed to be down there, but this time, I was with the cruise director somewhat, kind of. The videos out there, and some talking to some things open up, and somebody asked me, hey, Ebony Diamond, somebody asked me, they said, give me your YouTube page. I was ashamed. I was like, well, right now ain't really no cruise stuff on there, kind of mixed in with some other stuff. I was ashamed. I had to pull it up, and I'm saying, I'm calling somebody a sorry ass bitch. And that was the first time that I kind of felt that, because look, I'm a grown woman. I do and say what I want, because don't nobody come in here and pay my bills but me. Only one that sat down in front of that computer, pull up online my bills, and pay it. So I'm a grown woman. Nobody don't tell me what to do. I mean, I'm through the Lord, of course, respect my parents, but I do what I want to do. But when it came to now, what's your page? We enjoy hanging out with you. What's your channel? I got real quiet. Got a little quiet. So they're going to go on there and see me say some stuff. They're like, what the hell she talking about? So change is good. Growing is good. Progress is good. There is absolutely no change in it. That's my point. And when you see other opportunities coming, then you have to make a shift. And it's smart. That's a smart thing to do. And don't let pride keep you from it. Don't let other people trying to pull you down and hold you where they are keep you from it. You don't let nothing keep you from progressing and growing. What is this man saying right here? Hold on.
It meant something to you. Then it stopped working.
Hold on.
You ever do some shit and you loved it because it worked? It meant something to you. But then it stopped working. You ever have a craft or start a business and you start making money and then you elevate in your consciousness and then you're not able to do the same thing you were doing to make money. Now you got to do something different. That's because you got to grow, my friend. The spirit has to move. The spirit has to transcend. Because when you take what naturally happens in here and here and you place it outside of yourself, you living in an illusion, my friend. You are living in an illusion. Motherfuckers don't understand the subconscious. I'm telling y'all, you understand this shit, unlock your mind. But you trap.
So that was a young man talking about unlocking your mind. He was talking about how ego would keep you a place because in that place you're on top, or it's working for you, or you're good at it. It's familiar. So ego would keep you there. But when your heart and your brain and your heart, your spirit is telling you, do this over here, but familiarity is saying, no, that's not a smart move, and you get scared. And you don't want to move. Pride till you don't. Pride. People gonna think you quit. them people gonna think you quit. So I would just like to encourage everyone. If that's where you're feeling yourself being moved, don't be afraid to do that. Don't let nothing stop you. Do it. Because it's always something that I consider. What's my next move? How can I elevate? How can I progress? How can I move forward? Those are good things to do. There ain't no shame in that. Ain't no shame in it at all. Another video I want to play. I think this is it.
We got to start looking at our life. We got to start looking at things and saying, okay, am I showing up as the winner that I know I am? Am I showing up with a winner's mentality? Am I showing up in a place where I don't make excuses for myself or nobody else? Even when I'm tired, can I still get up and push? Am I associated with nothing but high performers, right? Nothing but people that makes you feel uncomfortable. You need people who gonna pump you up and raise the bar for you. People, when you look at them, you're like, God dang, I gotta go even higher. They keep setting the bar. Get yourself around the right people so that your mind can be elevated to where you want to go.
So that has honestly been my focus on this journey of stepping away for a while. Is trying to evaluate where I'm at, where I want to go, what I want to do next, that type thing. That's been my focus. And those of you who are on YouTube, who know me well, who's listening to this, they will tell you. There's 3 people I can name off the top of my head who will tell you that what I'm about to say is the truth. I hang with people like people that I talk to daily, people that I call once a week, people who I call a close friend or a friend or even an acquaintance, people that I talk to on the regular. You got to be sharper than me. That's a rule of mine. I have to consider you sharper or smarter than me. You know why? Because I want somebody that's going to challenge me. And I consider myself, I could be dumb. You know, I know I can't pronounce nothing. Sure as hell can't spell. But in my mind, I'm smart. To me, I'm pretty sharp. I'm pretty smart. To me, I am. And you better feel the same about yourself. If you don't feel good about you, who else gonna feel good about you? You got to be better than me. In a sense of what I mean better than me. Nobody's better. We all created equal, but in the sense of somebody who challenges you, somebody that you know that is a good example for you. And sometimes you can be a good example for them in return. So those are things that when I decided to do Lent, to give up the beef sector for Lent, those are things that were going through my mind. And I said to somebody recently, I want to come back better. If I do indeed come back and do beef sector, I want to come back better. And what can I do? Where can I go to be better? And I ain't talking about better than anybody. I mean, me, myself, a better me, a better version of me, because of growth. Not because I think I'm bad, but because of growth. Because all of this affects sometimes what you do online can't affect what you do offline. We've seen that, right? It can affect what you do offline. And I don't want to become stagnant in any area of my life. I want every area of my life to grow. Did I say hey to Kiki? Hey, Kiki H. Thank you for coming in. I don't want to be stagnant in any area of my life. I want to see growth in every. Spiritually, I want to see growth and progress. You know, if I'm in a relationship romantically, I want to see growth and progress. In my finances, I want to see growth and progress. In my entertainment and social life, I want to see growth and progress. You know, I did some things on a cruise, on this particular cruise that I had never done on other cruises. Growth and progress. You know, it's from the smallest thing to the greatest thing. I want to see growth and progress. So I always applaud and celebrate when people step out, whether it's a small step out, whether it's a big step out, whether it's a significant step out or insignificant step out. But when people step out of what's familiar and say, hey, you know, let's end that. That did good for me. That was some good ground right there to build on. Let me elevate my mind and let's go higher. Y'all remember that song? Let me see if I can find it before I leave. Y'all know I love to leave with songs. So thank y'all for coming in and listening to me. And please hit that like button. And again, for those who are keeping me honest, I'm not engaging in beef sector talk. I just found this interesting and thought I'd talk about it a little bit because I felt like it related to what I myself am doing. And my whole reason for, again, hey Joanna, I ain't seen you in a good little while. How you doing, girl? What I'm doing and why I'm doing it and everything. So just thought it was interesting, and I kind of struggled with myself whether I was going to do it or not because I know folks will say, I thought she said she went and came to the B6. Y'all know how y'all do. But listen, this is the song right here. Y'all remember that song? Let me see if I can find it a little bit clearer. Somebody singing it clearer. I don't think I might not be able to. But y'all remember they sing that old song? Yeah, it was an old song we used to sing way back. Elevate your mind. Let's go higher. And for me, when I used to hear that song in church, I didn't just think about it as far as spiritual higher or higher place in praise. I kind of thought about that overall in my life. How can I progress and keep my mind elevated, that I'm constantly forward thinking? The great Dionne Warwick, I usually say evangelist, I ain't gonna say it this time. Dionne Warwick sang a song, I don't know who wrote it, but she said, a fool will live tomorrow reaching back to yesterday. Yesterday is, you gotta know your history so you can know where you're going, but we don't want to stay back there. You move forward, constantly move forward. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done. I always find it interesting that the song that I was listening to when I converted to Christianity, that whole first decision to say, I think I want to go this way in faith. Years ago, the song was a secular song, Keep on Moving, Don't Stop, Soul to Soul. Keep on moving, don't stop. Recently, or within the last few years, what's that? Kanye West did a gospel version of that song. But back in the 90s, when I decided, hey, I think I'm gonna go to church like my parents say, it was a secular song only. But that's the song I was actually literally listening to riding down the street when I made the decision to say, hey, let me look into this Christianity thing. Keep on moving, don't stop. And that's what I want to encourage y'all today. Keep on moving. Don't stop. Move forward. So I applaud anybody who does that. Joanna says, Cruz, I'm gonna hit you. I'm going to Jamaica in June. I want to know if you know about flights, plans from Lax to Miami. Girl, my advice is to fly out of Long Beach. I don't know how close you are to Long Beach though, because the bigger the airport seems like the more it costs. Like if I'm going into Miami, I'm more than likely going to fly into Fort Lauderdale. If I'm coming into Los Angeles, I'm more than likely going to fly into Long Beach. Because sometimes I find that the rates are cheaper. Like I'm going to Orlando. I have to be in Orlando in about 39 days. And I'm flying into Melbourne, although Sanford, usually I'll fly into Sanford because it's cheaper to fly into Sanford than it is to fly into Melbourne or Orlando. So yeah, that's the advice I have. See if there are some smaller airports that you could fly out of. Which I mean, now if you're going to Jamaica, then if you're going to Montego, you got to fly into Montego, ain't nowhere else. Or if you're flying into Ocho, if you're going to Ocho Rios, then you got to fly into Ocho Rios, that type thing. But you can fly. You're probably going to get a better rate. But then on the flip side of that, if you got to park your car, like I got a flight going out, the same flight I'm talking about going out. I'm going out from an airport closer to me because I can get dropped off by Uber or a friend or a neighbor, and I wouldn't have to pay 7 days worth of car parking. So I made the decision to do it that way. But anyway, yeah, hit me up. Hey, St. James, LBC. What's LBC? That's all. What I say? Long Beach is better unless St. James right there. Oh my God, I hate going through. I hate Lax. I hate LAX. It's just too much. And the same thing with Miami. Miami International. I'd rather fly into Fort Lauderdale. It's less hustle and bustle and all of that and walking and trying. Let me go get my bag. Oh yeah. Yeah, I prefer Long Beach. But thank you for coming in, St. James. I appreciate it. St. James, I got to see what your commentary is. I laughed at your title. I saw your title with, was it Bishop Whitehead? I haven't seen it yet, but I think it was your title that made me giggle a little bit. St. James, I want to ask you, I haven't seen your commentary, I don't think, about Tye Tribbett yet. But I wanted to ask you, St. James. I agree with Tye Tribbett. Some churches are whacked. I agree. But what my question I keep asking, I was just over in Job's chat and I asked about 1,000 times and I was ignored. But what is different? What is different about Tye Tribbett church than the churches that he called whack? How is his church different? Because he said, he did admit to, through this same church, I profit off this same church, and this church is what made me what I am today, the church that I call whack, in general, for churches in general. But then he said, I don't subscribe to that type church anymore. But I looked at his church online and I don't go there, so I can be corrected. And that's why I'm asking the question. How is his church different from the churches that he says is whack? That's about the church and the building and rather than the people. That is my challenge question to Tye Tribbett and everybody who agree with him. And I'm not saying I don't agree with him. And I ain't one of the ones out here saying, you wrong. I'm just saying, when you say things like that, then you got to turn around. Well, you don't have to, but you should turn around and say how you're different. Because somebody like me is looking at you and saying, hey, you're a pastor. You go to a building every Sunday. You promote your church. You take up tithes and offerings. It's like, how you different, sir? You did some commentary. Let me put it up here so I can see it a little bit clearer. I did some commentary on my recent unpopular live. I did agree with Tye. I mean, I agree with him. I do not disagree with Tye. My only question is how is he different than the churches he called whack? So I agree with him. The whole institution right now is need a whole lot of work, a whole lot of construction. It's church is becoming a social popular place rather than a place like when we were younger. You go to really get inspiration and deliverance and all that. But my question is, how is he different? Because if I'm gonna come out here and say something is wrong with something, then I don't believe in complaining about something without giving a solution or without showing a solution. And I'm seeing a lot of people complaining about church and then turn around and be the very thing they complain about. I think is what I'm saying. Cruz, I saw the other day that a man got convicted in New York. Oh, Bishop Whitehead. Bishop Whitehead, Lamar Whitehead. Yeah, I heard that he's out here still giving much content. So I gotta catch up with a lot of stuff. Y'all know I was on that cruise and that was my focus, honey. I was up on that cruise and enjoying myself. So now, and then when I got back on Thursday, I had to come to work on Friday. So I'm behind on a lot of things that I gotta catch up on concerning the churchy sector with Bishop Whitehead. I did do a video on Ty tribute. Because again, or Tye Tribbett, B-I-T-T. I agree with him. I just wanted to know how he was different. That was all. Anyway, last thing. Please consider joining my cruise. The cruise is from August 10th through August 10th. That goes out on a Saturday. Let me look at the dates here. It goes out on a Saturday, August 10th. And we come back in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on Thursday, August 15th. You'll be back home Thursday, August 15th by 8 a.m. You'll be off that ship no later than 9, probably at 8 a.m. So we get on the 10th and we get off on the 15th. 5-day cruise is going to the private island for Royals Private Island. And then it's going to Cozumel, Mexico. And it's on the Independence of the Seas, Royal Caribbean Independence of the Seas. The price have dropped. Whenever the price dropped, they notify me. They notified me yesterday and said there was a price drop. So for a certain room type, it went down $52, and for the other room type, it went down $90. So those of you who have already signed up and paying on your cruise, you're going to get notification directly from Royal. That you're going to have a credit on there where whatever your balance is lower. It's either $50 lower or $90 lower because the price did drop. And whenever the price drop, as they promised, they do notify me and notify you. So consider August 10th through the 15th joining us. It's out of Miami, cruising out of Miami. So there you have it. If you want any more information, just email me and I will give you the phone number and the group number for that. All right. Thank y'all for coming in and listening to me. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. What you think about what I said today. If you listen to the whole thing about change, forward thinking, growing, progress. All right. What you say? A Brooklyn pastor, widely known as the Bling Bishop, was found guilty of multiple charges. Money in the case where he was stealing $90,000 from parishioners and using the money. Who didn't know he wasn't gonna be found guilty? You can't just go around taking money from folks, telling you're gonna get them a house, and then the house never. The only way he could have wanted that is he went in there and showed the house where the person had the house. The person don't have the house. So, yeah. So, he get 45 years? I think it was. He got 45 years. But Joanna, go look him up on Facebook. He's still talking because he's still out until his day, what is it called? Sentencing day. I think he's still free until sentencing. So if you're interested, go check him out. He's still over there talking. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. Please hit the like button. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. This is Cruiser.